Hi, and welcome to LIPI Presents Real Ghost Hunting, the Reveal Show. Today we're going to talk about the Peter Hildebrand Nature Preserve. This was the episode that focused on our psychics and sensitives, and I was behind the camera filming for the day. If you haven't seen the episode, you can click right around here, and you should be able to watch the episode in full before you watch the Reveal Show on the night. So tell us about it. Tell us about Peter Hildebrand Nature Preserve.
So, Peter Hildebrand Nature Preserve. It's a nature preserve trail. It's pretty much situated right behind Mather Hospital in Port Jeff, I guess that is there. It's right behind that, and it's also, you got to remember, there's also St. Charles Hospital right up the road too. So it's kind of situated between two hospitals. So, that location's interesting. Mather, it's a pretty popular hospital on the island. It does have a small psych ward there. And allegedly there's a story that a doctor from the hospital some point went back into the trail area and killed himself. So that, is interesting. But just the location in general, I mean, you got to figure, you got a hospital, there's going to be death, there's going to be pain, there's a lot of things going on there. So it makes it a potential hotspot for paranormal activity.
Yeah. So we were at Peter Hildebrand Nature Preserve. It was a good investigation. It was myself, Shannon, Michelle, and Lee. We used a couple of thermometers. Nothing unusual there. They were ambient thermometers that night. I do want to say and preface this that it was extremely windy that day. It was extremely windy. I think the winds were probably topping out around 25 miles an hour, 30 miles an hour. It was windy. It was windy. We did not have the wind meter out, but according to our ghost weather station, it said 8 to 21 miles per hour. It felt like it was stronger than that to me. So we didn't have a ton of equipment out because it was a very small group. We had the electrosmog that was out. That didn't pick up any readings. We had 2K2 meters and a digital EMF. That did not pick up anything. We had the REM pod out. No unusual activity there. And we had the FLIR thermal imaging camera used. Nothing there. I did have my audio on me. It did die during the investigation, so we didn't have a ton of audio to go through to play back. I recorded with the documentary camera. No unusual sightings, no EVPs found throughout that investigation. Personal experiences. There were personal experiences. One thing is, and the reason why I note that it was so windy, was that we had heard what sounded like screaming in the woods. It was different from the sound of the wind whipping. Myself and Shannon heard it. I can't remember if Lee and Michelle did, but I know me and Shannon heard it. And that was really weird because it sounded like a woman screaming in the distance, but it was so windy you couldn't discern it from the wind that was happening whenever you listen back to the audio or to the video summary. So that was really interesting. And then the weirdest thing kept happening to me was while I was filming, I wasn't looking. I had the viewfinder shut, and I just kind of recorded because I don't try to use the viewfinder. I kind of just go for my gut. And I kept seeing what looked like a shadow, like darting behind me. And I would turn, and if you guys watch the episode, you'll see me. Like, what the hell is that? I was like, I'm seeing somebody moving around behind me. And it wasn't even when it was windy. It was like when it was calm, and it had to have happened. So you have the main pathway, and it forks. You can either go straight through the brush or to the right. And to the right is where, I think when we first went, our first investigation there, I think Andy caught something on the FLIR on our first investigation there. But we were down that pathway, and I only ever really experienced it there. And then when we came back and we went through the brush and we walked in, we kind of walked off the beaten path into this little opening in between these trees because it was a really cool circle of trees. And I remember that's when we were really starting to hear the screaming, me and Shannon. And we're like, what the hell is that? We couldn't figure it out. I mean, we were there for almost an hour. We investigated. It was pretty quiet for the most part, but those are a couple of things that really stuck out to me during the investigation that I thought was interesting. So,
yeah, I mean, that was the 5th time we were there.
it's a new location.
It's a fairly new location. I would say, though, out of the 5 times, I'd say 4 of those 5 times we have caught something interesting. The one thing that really stands out is when normally we break up into 3 different groups and 3 separate areas. And my team was down one of the pathways, and I think it was Shannon, Michelle, and Rocco were in a team that night. And they come, I was in the middle of training, and they come running down like our pathway. Like, what the hell is going on? They're like, yo, the sound we just heard. And you could hear it. I remember we had the audio clips and stuff. And I don't know, it was pretty loud, and it freaked them out.
Yeah.
And, you know, some people were like, well, is it an animal? Is it a deer? And we were looking. We really investigated it. We went back up there and kind of looked and said, all right, well, if it is a deer, where would it have gone? Where would it have came from? And you would have known. Like, you would have just known it was an animal, you know. You could tell. Doing it for so long, you could tell what is and what isn't. So,
Yeah.
but, yeah, I mean, we have caught some stuff there 3 times we've been there. So, at this moment in time, I would definitely say it's got potential. I think there is something going on there. I would just like to investigate it further and see what we really got going on here. So I'm not going to call it haunted yet, but there is potential for it to be haunted. If we gather more evidence up so that we can prove that, then absolutely. That's kind of where we stand right now with it.
I remember when we first went to that location, me and Andy were on a team.
Right.
And we walked in. Like, you guys took the turn to the right.
Right, you guys went
We
straight.
just kept going and going. And it's more overgrown now than it was back then.
I'm sure it is.
And we just kept going and going and going. And it was the weirdest. I remember us feeling like a man was back there in the woods, like just walking too. And we felt like we were following towards somebody. And then eventually it stopped. We were like, well, how far are we really going to go? We don't know.
Right.
We don't even know where this comes out, you know. So we stopped and came back so that we could make it back for the end of the investigation. But we were in there for a while. But yeah, I mean, that's a cool location. We've had personal experiences and stuff like that there. So I like that place.
My one experience was the same night where they heard the noise.
Yeah.
So I was in your group, and
You
then
remember.
we went down to where they were. And when I got there, I smelled something weird. I smelled like, you know, best way to describe it, like a rotting smell. Not like, you know, your rotten meat, but just like a rotting, like probably like rotting vegetation, like that kind of smell. And I smell it, and I think it was Michelle, but I didn't say anything. She goes, "Do you smell something rotting?" Like, and no one, only her and I smelled it. Which, you know, it wasn't like it was just like
I didn't
smelling
smell
it.
anything, right?
But the fact that she said it, that was exactly what I was smelling. That was interesting, and it was right in the spot where they'd heard that noise.
Yeah. So I don't know.
It's a cool place.
Yeah,
Definitely a
we're
cool
going
place.
back.
Yeah.
We're going back.
Alright guys, if you haven't yet, you can give this video a like, share, and subscribe, and also let us know what you think in the comments section below. You can also click the little notification bell to know when all of our content is uploaded to YouTube. So thank you guys again for joining us on this latest edition of Real Ghost Hunting, The Reveal Show. And until next time, take care guys.